Dylan Mulvaney is not a transgender individual. Dylan Mulvaney is a man who is playing a caricature of a woman or a girl using the label of transgender to get clicks, views, and money. All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Let's party. First things first, screw Project Veritas, because OMG, Okeefe Media Group is back in action and taking aim at one of our most favorite people on this channel, Dylan Mulvaney. So real quick, I want to show you some context for what we're going into. You're probably very much aware that the whole trans movement has allowed men who have committed crimes, often not so nice crimes, to go into women's prisons simply by identifying this way. So real quick, let's just take a little peek at what James is going to be showing to Dylan, and then let's get into the goods.
So I guess we...
Imagine coming to your room one day and you're in close custody and you turn around
This is a
and there's
woman.
a man standing up peeing in the toilet.
This is a woman from prison talking to someone else, saying, imagine you're just in there, and there's a man standing there peeing in the toilet.
Because you have the doctor in your room and CCU. There's nothing you can do.
What you just heard
There's nothing you can do.
and what you're about to hear are multiple inmates describing their experiences with transgendered women, formerly known as men, within the women's prison. WCCW has been the tip of the spear with inclusivity in the prison system.
So it says, here are some of the concerning misinformation and corresponding accurate information. 1. The department's only requirement for incarcerated transgender individuals is to identify as female to be housed in the female facility. This is false. Is it? Number 2. An assault occurred at WCCW involving a transgender individual, which was not documented and disregarded. This is false. I don't know what happened to number 3, but number 4 is the department needs to protect, keyword protect, women in their custody from harm, and says this is true. We must protect all individuals under our custody and care, regardless of their gender identity.
To protect the at-risk individuals involved, we've taken steps to conceal the identities of the sources and the inmates.
I know there's some having sex with women.
I know there's some having sex with women. I mean, hey, men have done crazier things to have sex.
There was some, assaulting, but no one reported it. It's normally in institutions you have segregations are always going to apply, no matter what institution that you're at, all across America. But somehow in this institution, they are adapting ways to apply these so-called mandated laws that came out of nowhere to prohibit segregation for certain individuals.
So usually you would see that depending on the type of crime and the gender that you are, that segregations would happen in prisons for the safety of the inmates.
Let's just say sex offenders. Usually sex offenders are not in general population. They're always in a population of their own. Some of these men are not confused.
Some of these men are not confused.
They're
just manipulating the system.
It's not equal because we don't get the same care and treatment.
It's not equal because we don't get the woman inmate. We don't get the same treatment that the trans get in here. So you can check out James Okeefe's Twitter for the entire video. But what I really wanted to show you is when he went after our good friend Dylan Mulvaney to ask him about what we just saw. So let's see.
I'm James Okeefe with OMG News outside the Four Seasons Hotel in Beverly Hills. Dylan Mulvaney is inside the women's restroom right now.
Well, does that surprise you?
So I'm going to ask him for comment about our story regarding women being raped in prison by men claiming to be transgender. Here we go. Dylan, this is James Okeefe, OMG. Women are being raped in a prison in Washington State by men claiming to be transgender.
So you would think that this, brand ambassador for every brand that you could think of, being the poster boy for the LGBT community, now has an issue that they can really speak out on. And what do we get? What do we get?
Footage of them talking about the rape. Do you have a comment on the story here of the women being raped by the men claiming to be transgender?
Maybe Dylan has nothing to say because if Dylan were arrested, he would be one of these men are paying, as we call it on this channel, the people in prison.
James Okeefe, OMG News. What do you think about the women who are being raped by the men who are transgender?
And I mean, it's funny to laugh at Dylan being uncomfortable, but obviously the situation is not a funny one. And again, if you want to represent the LGBT community, this is an important issue that's going on. These people, these men are abusing the sensitivities that we as a nation have towards the trans community. They're abusing it and co-opting it for their own benefit.
A comment about that?
Please don't come in the elevator with me.
Oh, please don't come in the elevator with me. Almost like if you were a woman, you might say to a man, please don't come into the jail with me.
What do you think about, what is your comment to the women who are being raped by men claiming to be transgender, Dylan?
Crickets.
So we're here with Dylan here. Haven't had much Bud Light recently, but we're very interested in the women's prison. Dylan?
Yeah, can speak out all day and night about how you need to get Tampax and how you need to get Bud Light and how you need to get Nike sports bras. But when something that actually matters, silence.
Okay. She did go into she went into the women's restroom.
What the hell are you doing? This is a women's bathroom.
Trying to show them the footage.
And that footage that he's showing her is the small thing I just showed you at the beginning.
We have men in our room.
No comment here at the Four Seasons Hotel in Beverly Hills? All right.
Beverly Hills. I mean, Dylan's living the high life. The Miller high life, pun intended.
I wonder where she's going. He's going.
I love how he's just like, she. Dylan Mulvaney is not a transgender individual. Dylan Mulvaney is a man who is playing a caricature of a woman or a girl using the label of transgender to get clicks, views, and money. What are you going to choose? Oh, Bud Light, our favorite.
You guys have any, like, Okeefe beer? Okeefe beer?
That's what we need, some OMG beer.
No Okeefe beer? Do you guys have Okeefe beer?
It's funny because Okeefe does sound like, some type of Irish named beer. O'Doul's, Okeefe.
You don't carry Okeefe beer? You know when you'll get a shipment in?
So we can see that this person, Dylan Mulvaney, is not a serious person. This person went to talk with Joe Biden at the White House. But when there's an actual issue having to do with the community that he stands to represent, silence. You can continue following this person if you want. You can do whatever you want. But just be aware of who you are really following. Do you think Dylan is for real? Do you think Dylan actually cares about the LGBT community at all? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. And once again, this is Morty. I've been your host, Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace.